Hi, I'm Joanie Courtney from EmployBridge, and I'm here today with Britt, the Chief Executive Officer at Penn Foster. Frank, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So Frank, there's a tremendous amount of talk in kind of the workplace today about who really owns the responsibility in training the worker. And I know that you work with hundreds of employers across the country. I'm curious what you're seeing from an innovative standpoint or, leading edge standpoint on training and education. What are some of the top employers doing today?
Well, I think that for the progressive firms, there's a sort of new social compact emerging, and the social compact says, along with all the benefit programs that one would expect, a safe environment, a productive environment, an affirming environment, that skills have to be part of that conversation, and that the middle skilled, which historically has been really underinvested in as contrast with white collar professionals, the middle skills are starting to gain, maybe not enough, but more than their fair share historically of training dollars and investment behind their futures. And so what we see is that when we talk to clients, the first thing we've heard from many historically has been, well, these folks don't want to be upskilled. This is actually not what they're here for. They're here to get a paycheck and to work in a productive, safe environment and go home. And what we have seen over tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands now of adults is that is actually the opposite of true. They have acute anxiety about their futures. They're very mindful that they need better ways to take control of their economic destinies. They're not willing to get into the bargain of taking on student debt to do that because they realize that it's not a fair model to take risk from an institution and put it on a person who already has some level of economic vulnerability. So what we see is the most progressive employers are really seeing this as an opportunity. They're taking an unfortunate circumstance and making it a win for them, which is they're trying to establish their unique brand as a go-to destination for employment, not just for the white-collar professionals, which has always been the case for the Fortune 1000, but increasingly for that middle skilled, and the middle skilled value that. In fact, they may value it more than the traditional white-collar professional because they haven't always had the abundance of resources. So we see more work, more energy, more talent, and more investment going into that, and the employers that really view that as a way to win, we think over time they're going to see outsized performance and really asymmetrical impacts on what their brand stands for in the labor market.
As we look at the program today, how would you like to see it evolve to the next level?
Well, I think that when we went into the market initially with this idea of skills as a benefit, we went at it the way traditionally advertising would be done. It was a very mass market approach that says one size fits all, but it offers so much value, we assumed everyone would want it. And I think what we've learned is that while there is a significant amount of both tangible and intrinsic value to pick up in your point of just empowering people and signaling to them that you have enough belief in them that you want to underwrite their investment in themselves, I think what we've realized is to get the full impact, to get the scaled impact, you really need to tailor the programs and tailor the messaging and tailor the support systems in a way that address the unique opportunities and challenges of different types of what we call personas. And I think the 2020 version of the Better Work-Life Academy will embrace the same ideals, the same first principles of upskilling as a benefit, but will do so in a way that even better accommodates and meets the unique requirements of folks who have different kinds of goals and different kinds of employer types and different kinds of occupations.
I think you're right. And, I am most excited about some of the enhancements from, introducing a badging feature on skills and really kind of putting a little bit of fun and gamification, if you will, into the program because it seems like that will also drive a lot of engagement. So your team's been great about working on some enhancements and excited to see where this is going to go as well.
Well, I think that we all recognize the power of small wins on the path to the summit. And I think some of the innovations that you mentioned, like badging, will allow us to clearly mark milestones for individuals. Humans are such that we like to build momentum. And I think this idea of being able to issue badges for skills that provide portability so that, of course, they can get value from it during their affiliation with and tenure with EmployBridge, but even once they leave, that they actually have a tangible value that they can bring with them to other employment opportunities. And I think if you look across scores of other industries, there always has to be one breakout organization, ideally an incumbent, that really leads by example. And I think the EmployBridge folks have really done that at scale.
Well, thank you.